Being independent feels great, right up until it doesn't. I've been full-time RVing for years now, and if you'd asked me back when I started why I picked this life, I wouldn't give you the same answer most people give. Freedom. Freedom to move whenever I wanted. Freedom to wake up somewhere new. Also freedom to live life on my own terms without anyone telling me where I had to be or when. And for a long time, that's exactly what it was. But somewhere along the way, I couldn't even tell you the exact date or trip. I learned something about this lifestyle that nobody had warned me about before I started. Freedom works great, right up until the day you actually need someone. And that day comes for everyone who does this long enough. So let's talk about that a little deeper, because I think it's the one conversation this whole community avoids. And honestly, I think avoiding it is where people get hurt. Here's the thing about sticks and brick houses that you don't think about until you don't have one anymore. If your toilet backs up, or your water heater dies, or a pipe bursts under the sink, it's annoying, sure, but you call a plumber. Somebody shows up, fixes it, and life keeps going on as normal. Your house is still your house. You still sleep in your own bed that night. Now, put that same problem in an RV. Your plumbing isn't a separate system from your life anymore. It is your life. If your tanks won't drain, or your water pump dies, or something freezes and cracks in the dead of winter, your entire home can stop functioning. Not just an inconvenience and not a repair call, your actual home, unusable, and you're standing wherever you might be parked trying to figure out what happens tonight. Now I get that it's kind of the same as in a home, but when your home has wheels, everything is a little tighter and a little different. The same thing applies to your vehicle. If your car breaks down, back in regular life, it's a bad day. A tow truck, a rental car, and an annoying bill. But you still get to go home. Your house didn't go anywhere. When your rig breaks down on the highway, that's not true anymore. Your transportation and your home are the same object, and they're both sitting on the shoulder of the interstate with the hazards on. You're not stranded from your house. You are your house, and it's stranded too. That one hit hard the first time it happened to me. And trust me, it will happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Once you start thinking that way, you start noticing all the other things this lifestyle quietly asks of you that nobody puts in a YouTube video. Like, what happens if you actually get sick? Not just a normal cold, I mean really sick. Who's checking in on you? Who even knows you're not feeling well? Family and or friends might be 3 states away and not one single person knows. Or what if you need surgery, even a simple surgery? Who's driving you home from the hospital when your home is parked 45 minutes from the clinic at a lake? I've climbed on my own roof more times than I care to admit, chasing a leak, working or cleaning on the AC unit, fully aware that if I slipped up there, it could be a while before anyone realized something was wrong. There's the flat tire in the middle of nowhere with no cell signal and no one behind you for 20 miles. And yes, Starlink has changed this scenario for many, but remember, many still do not even have Starlink. So then what? Here's a part that's never shown. Waiting 3, 4, 6 weeks for a service appointment because RV techs are backed up everywhere. And in the meantime, you're just living in limbo in a home that isn't fully working. And if it's bad enough that you can't stay in the rig at all, where do you go? You don't have a guest room to fall back on. You don't have a neighbor's couch. You have to actually build a safety net because it doesn't exist by default the way it did before. Then there's your pets. Who takes care of them if something happens to you, even for a few days? Your family might be hours away now instead of just down the street, which means the small favors people used to do for each other don't exist anymore. You don't have a default emergency contact who lives just 5 minutes away. Getting prescriptions filled at a pharmacy that's never seen you before? Hope that transfer goes smoothly. Losing your phone, which for most of us isn't just a phone anymore. It's your bank, your map, your emergency line, your everything, all in one device that fits in your pocket and can vanish in a parking lot in a blink of an eye. A dead battery with nobody around to give you a jump, no tow vehicle on the day you actually need one. And what about severe weather rolling in and you're realizing you don't have a solid structure to ride it out, just an aluminum fiberglass box on wheels? Now, none of this is meant to scare you. It's just real. It's just what this life actually includes when you're living in an RV full time. Once you take away the sunset photos and the mountain backdrops, this is real full-time RV life that needs to be discussed. And that's what led me to change how I think about this whole lifestyle. I used to think independence meant never needing anybody, that the whole point was self-sufficiency. Figure it out on your own. Rely on no one. Be the person who doesn't need help. But after living this way for years, I don't believe that's right anymore. Real independence isn't never needing someone. Real independence is having the plan for the day that you do. That's it. That's the whole thing I wish someone had told me on day one. It's not about being tough enough to never need a hand. It's about being smart enough to already know who you'd call and what you'd do before you're standing on the side of a highway actually needing to make that call. Now, I want to be really clear about something because I don't want this video to come across the wrong way. Full-time RV living has given me some of the best experiences of my entire life. Sunrises I never would have seen, places I would have never gone, and a version of freedom that a regular house just can't give you. Now, if you ask me if I'd do it again, yes. Heck yes. Without hesitating. I enjoy being able to pick up for the weekend and go somewhere without having to pack a single thing. I enjoy scheduling my vacations with mini trips to see new horizons or even just a new front yard view. But I'd do it differently. I wouldn't wait until I was standing next to a broken down rig to figure out who my support system is. I'd build that first before starting my first trip. I'd know my roadside plan before I needed it. I'd have people lined up, family and friends, and even a community before the emergency happened, not after. Because the freedom this lifestyle gives you is real, but it's so much better and so much lighter when you're not carrying it alone. So if you're already living this life or you're thinking about starting, don't wait for the bad day to build your plan. Build it now while things are calm. So that way when you need someone, you already know exactly who to call. That is real independence. And that's the version of this lifestyle I'd tell anyone to actually go live. Thank you for watching, and remember, each fall teaches you something. Each time you rise, you become harder to knock down. I will see you in the next one.